Thank you, Manju, Grace, and Daisy. Okay, and Jing. Okay. Good morning. Time for us to continue our study on Samadhi. Let's do the prayer first. Okay. Let's sit upright, place our palms together, and concentrate on the prayer below. We take refuge with our kind mentor Bani. We take refuge with Shakyamuni Buddha. We take refuge with all the triple jewel of the 10 directions in the 3 periods of time. Those for opening future. Then surpassed, profound, and wonderful Dharma. In hundreds of millions of years, it's difficult to encounter. We now see and hear it, receive and behold it, and we vow to value the Tathagata's true meaning, and we vow to practice the Tathagata's true way, and we vow to attain the Tathagata's true state. We vow that we can spontaneously express the Buddha's understanding, the Buddha's view, the Buddha's wisdom, the Buddha's merit and virtue, the Buddha's capability, and the Buddha's state through our actions, speech, and thoughts. We also vow that all living beings can enter into the Buddha's understanding, Buddha's view, Buddha's wisdom, Buddha's merit and virtue, Buddha's capability, and Buddha's state all into us. So that's the prayer for today's lecture. And then let's go ahead with our review first. What we learned yesterday, listen to the video, and then we can recite it one by one.
But without born into this, we were all born into this world with biological conditioned structures, but without self-awareness. We were all born into this world with biological conditioned structures, but without self-awareness. We were all born into this world with biological conditioned structures, but without self-awareness. We were all born into this world with biological conditioned structures, but without self-awareness.
So anybody would like to recite it, read it from memory? One more time.
We were all born into this world with biological conditioned structures, but without self-awareness.
So, anybody? Yeah, okay. Daisy first.
Okay, hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let me try.
Yeah.
We're all born into this world with biological condition structures, but without self-awareness.
Self what?
Wellness.
Are you sure?
Awareness.
Yes, perfect. One more time, please, Daisy.
We were all born into this world with biological condition structures, but without self-awareness. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much, Daisy. Thank you. And then Grace, your time, please.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Yes. I recite it.
Yeah.
Yes. We were all born into this we were all born into this world with biological condition structures, but without self-awareness.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, that's correct. One more time, please.
Yes, thank you. We were all born into this world. We were all born into this world with biological condition structures, but it but but with but without self awareness, but without self awareness. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Thank you so much for your recitation. I will repeat it. Yeah, we were all born into this world with biological condition structures, but without self-awareness. Okay, one more time. We were all born into this world with biological condition structures, but without self-awareness. We were all born into this world with biological condition structures, but without self-awareness. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for your participation. Let's go ahead with our new sentence. Sentence 38. Sentence 38. Let's listen to the video.
We were all born into this world with biological conditioned structures, but without self-awareness. We were all born into this world with biological conditioned structures, but without self-awareness. Often, when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often, when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often, when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yeah, it's quite different, right? Often. Let's double check which kind of phonetic symbol can be produced like can be pronounced like often. Oh, interesting. Oh yes, in American way.
Often, often, often.
So we are sure, we can be sure that this is a video made by made in Northern America. You know Northern America? Yeah, such as the Canada, America. Yeah, often.
Often, often.
Actually, in British way is often.
Often.
Yeah, interesting. We learned, right? Let's double check.
Often, when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often, when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yeah, have you seen the luminous emptiness from this child's eyes? So this is interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Let's double check. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there is no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. So let's double check the new words look into. Actually, I didn't put look into in the table. Yeah, from trace. Okay. Trace, what does it mean? Trace, it means a mark, an object, a sign that shows that something exists or was present. So, yeah, there is a mark. No mark. no mark. Yeah, an object, a sign. Yeah, no mark or no sign. There is no mark or no sign of self. Yeah, you cannot see the notion self from the eyes. So here, trace, and then luminous, right? Let's double check. Luminous. Luminous. Okay. Luminous, it means shining in the dark, giving out light. Giving out light, it means, yeah, light are from there, are from it. Giving out light. And then emptiness. Emptiness. Both of them are okay. Emptiness. 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 Yeah, here. Only luminous emptiness. Yeah, it means, yeah, nothing else. And there is no sign or no mark. And yeah, it is really space. Yeah, in the space or really pure. Nothing else. So here. Luminous, emptiness. So, yeah, time for us to practice the new words and expressions. Who would like to try it? Yes, Grace. Grace, would you like to pronounce these new words, please?
叫我吗
Yes, I'm calling you.
Yes. Thank you. Jace. Jace. Luminous. 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 And emptiness. Emptiness. Emptiness.
And
Emptiness.
yeah, the stress is on the first syllable.
Yes. Emptiness. Emptiness.
And you can omit. You can like this.
Emptiness.
Yeah, you did it.
Emptiness.
And you need to place. Yeah, you need to place the. You need to place the stress on the first phonetic symbol. M. Empty.
Emptiness. Emptiness.
Yeah, emptiness.
Yeah, emptiness. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Now, yes, I think so.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, from the beginning, one more time. Yeah, from the beginning, please.
Chase. Chase. Luminous. Luminous. Emptiness. Emptiness.
Yes, perfect. Now, emptiness. 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 Okay, let's double check and look it into the dictionary. Luminous. Well, I think it's luminous. Ew.
Luminous. Luminous.
Instead of luminous. Luminous. Do you know? Ew. Luminous.
Luminous.
Luminous. Luminous. Oh, yeah. In American way is luminous, and in British way is luminous. Yeah, different. Ew, woo. Okay, both of them are okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Grace is really in the US way, in the American way to pronounce luminous. Yeah, actually in the UK way. I mean that in the British way, very British way is luminous. Perfect. Yeah, okay. And then Daisy, you please.
Yes. Okay. Trace. Luminous. Emptiness.
Actually you can omit, you can cancel emptiness, and can you emptiness. Yeah.
Emptiness.
Emptiness. Yes, perfect.
Emptiness. Okay, thank you.
So instead of MP, no P. Emptiness. Emptiness. Yes.
Emptiness. Okay, emptiness.
Yeah, perfect. Emp. And just followed by amp. Because emptiness.
Emptiness.
Yes, perfect. Emptiness. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. You're amazing, both of you. Okay, I will do it. Trace. Luminous. Emptiness. Yeah, have you found it? Emptiness. Emptiness. Instead of emptiness. Emptiness. Yeah, you can cancel, or you can omit emptiness. Okay, thank you for listening. And yeah, hello, Alice. Good morning. Would you like to lead us to pronounce these 3 words, please? Are you with us? Alice, are you with us? I'm not sure. Alright, let's go ahead with the shadowing. Oh, not shadowing. Before shadowing, we can have a quick look at the grammar. Yeah, here, this is the complex sentence, and because there is a subordinate clause and then followed by a main clause. And the main clause is made of the be. Have you seen it? This is the main clause. Main clause is made of the be. There is no trace of self. And then before the main trace, there is subordinate clause. Also means, at the verbal clause of time or condition. Both of them are okay. Often, when you look into a young child's eyes, so here when, it means if you look into, or when, it also means, clause, adverbial clause of time. So this is the subordinate clause, and this is the subordinate clause, and this is the main clause, and then followed by an independent structure, by a non-group. Do you know non-group? Only luminous, emptiness. So here, only luminous emptiness. This is the independent structure. So let's look back again, and for this sentence, this is a complex one. The main sentence is the be. There is no trace of self. So this is a main clause. And there is a subordinate clause led by when. Have you seen when? And for the when, it leads an adverbial clause of time or condition. Both of them are okay. As we said before, if when can be replaced by if, and if you put if here, and you can make the sentence smooth, and then you see that when also can be called lays on adverbial clause of condition. So here they are. And then independent structure, and a non-group, luminous, emptiness. So that's it. That's the grammar issues. And we can go ahead with our shadowing.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Around this whole sentence, and let's find out. Let's focus on finding the stressed words, okay?
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Okay, often. When you looked into a young child's eyes, there is no trace of self. Only used to emphasize something. Only luminous emptiness. So here are the stressed words. Let's double check.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Only luminous emptiness in child's eye. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Auto picture.
The person one grows into is a mass. The person one grows into is of self. Often when you look into a young...
Okay, wait a minute. I found something different. Let's double check.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Look, I think there is a mistake, right? Have you found it? Yeah, the taste cannot coincide with the audio. Let's double check.
No trace of self. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Here it means when we looked into luminous emptiness. So I heard in this way, when we looked into luminous emptiness. How about you?
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Right? So how do you think of it? Yes, different. Hello, how do you think of it, Daisy? Have you found something different?
I'm sorry, I felt it's the same.
Look, yeah, listen to it again.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Only, I heard when we looked into. Okay, double check.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
So how about this time? Something wrong with my listening? Yeah, have you found the difference? Or just
No, sorry.
I just heard it like this. Yeah, how about you? Grace, you please get on mic and say something.
Yes, thank you. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yeah, emptiness.
Emptiness.
Yeah,
Emptiness.
and yeah, for the video, it says when we looked into. Okay, double check.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
He didn't say only.
Only.
He said when we looked into luminous emptiness. So only he has replaced only to when we looked into. I think there is a mistake. Yeah.
Child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
So
Yes.
have you found it?
Yeah.
How about you, Daisy? I mean that he didn't pronounce the word only. He replaced the word only to when you looked into luminous emptiness. Hello, Daisy.
And I still feel he pronounce it only.
Okay.
Only luminous emptiness.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yeah, okay. In this way. You can in this way. Illuminates.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Okay, yeah, Grace, you please. Several more times, please. Hello, Grace. Are you still with us?
Yes.
Yes, follow it, please.
Yes. Thank you.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yes, you please.
Yes. Often when you look into a young child's self， 在这里怎么读的？好像是有连的吧
？Okay, double check. Okay.
Eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
这个 only 真的没读出来耶。Okay, no worries.
Yes.
Yeah. One more time.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self.
Young child's eyes. Yes, there is a link word. Young child's eyes. Yeah.
Young child's eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Often when you look into a young child's Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self.
In this way. Yeah, wait for a moment. Yeah, this way.
Yes. Often when you look into a young child's eyes.
Yes.
Smoothly, yes. There's no trace of self. There's no trace of self. Only luminous emptiness.
Not emptiness. Emptiness. Yeah, you put the
yeah. Emptiness. Yes.
Yes.
Emptiness.
Yeah, much better. Yeah. Let's double check. Okay.
Yeah.
Only luminous emptiness.
Luminous, emptiness.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Emptiness. Yes. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Only luminous, only luminous.
Only luminous emptiness.
Emptiness. Yes, I think so. One more time.
Yes.
I'll play for you.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yes, you please. One more time.
Yes. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Wow, that's it. Only luminous. Only luminous.
Only luminous.
Only luminous.
Only luminous emptiness.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, I think so. Yeah, thank you. Anybody else who would like to follow it? Follow it. Okay. Okay, Daisy, you please. I'll play it for you. Hello, Daisy.
Hello.
Yeah.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yes, you please.
Often when you look into young children's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yes, one more time, please.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, much better now. Emptiness, yeah.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
And here there is a link. There is. You can pronounce in this way. There is no trace of self, only luminous, only luminous, only luminous, only luminous, only luminous, only luminous, only luminous. Okay.
Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of
young child's eyes. Here is pronounced as eyes. Young child's eyes.
Only luminous emptiness. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Yes, in my mind, I think there is a wrong pronunciation here. Okay, no worries. Here, only luminates. Okay, only luminous. Only luminous. Emptiness. Okay. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there is trace of self, only luminous emptiness. I think the taste is very right. It's very right, and the meaning from the taste is also right. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there is no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Alright, so who would like to recite it? Time for us to recite it. Yeah. Okay, Daisy, you first.
Okay. Often Often, when you look into the young child's eyes, there's no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Sorry, one more time.
Often, when you look into the young child's eyes, there is no trace of self, only luminous emptiness.
Wow, yeah, fantastic, amazing, thank you. And then Grace, you please.
Yes, I decided. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, 指尖 there's no trace of self. There's no trace of self. There's no trace of self. Only luminous emptiness.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. One more time.
Yes, right. Often when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self. There's no trace of self. Only luminous emptiness. Yes.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Okay, time for me to read it, to recite it, to read it from memory. Often we looked into a young child's eyes. There is no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. We looked into a young Often we looked into a young child's eyes, there is no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Yeah, only luminous emptiness. Often we looked into a young child's eyes. There is no trace of self, only luminous emptiness. Yeah, thank you. So that's it. That's the only luminous emptiness. And yeah, that's all what we learned today. Let's go back on the sentence. The grammar points. Yeah, let's review it. And the whole sentence is there'll be. The whole sentence with the main clause is there'll be, and then there is a when subordinate clause led by when. Introduced by when, and then there is the independent non-group, only luminous emptiness, Yeah, there's no trace of self. Yeah, actually yes, and we cannot find anything. Yeah, from their eyesight, right? So pure.
Often, when you look into a young child's eyes, there's no trace of self.
There is no trace of self, and it is very bright, very luminous. So that's it. That's all for today, and thank you for listening, for your active participation. See you tomorrow. Bye.